Hello everyone, welcome to the class. In today's lecture, we are going to talk about electron transport chain, or we can say electron transport system, which is going to give you ATP and water molecules at the end. So after completing this electron transport chain, we are going to complete the aerobic respiration. As we have discussed, ETC will not going to take place in anaerobic one. So let's see what is this ETC. ETC stands for electron transport chain. ETS, electron transport system. So this is containing the transporters, the electron carriers, which are going to take the electrons from the reduced coenzymes, and then they are going to be transported to different components of this ETC. Ultimately, they are going to give those electrons to the oxygen, that molecular oxygen. Which oxygen? That which we have taken during the breathing, which is present in mitochondrial matrix. Fine. So this is the transporters, the chain of transporters, the series of transporters which are embedded in the inner mitochondrial membrane, which is going to shuttle, or we can say transfer the electrons from NADH and FADH to molecular oxygen. Fine. Now what is the purpose? Why we are running this system? Why we are undergoing this ETC? The two main purposes are the reduced enzymes like NADH plus H positive and this FADH2. These are going to get oxidized to regenerate NAD plus and FAD plus, so that they can again participate in Krebs cycle and or in glycolysis. Fine. So they need to be generated in abundance. This process will help to do the same. The next purpose is to produce the ATP. As we know, the respiration process is carried out for the purpose to yield the energy. So this energy is stored in the form of ATP molecules. So this ATP which is produced over here, this is the result of oxidation. So that's why we are giving a term oxidative phosphorylation. In our previous chapters, we have read about photophosphorylation, that is occurring in the chloroplast, that was in the presence of light. This one is as a result of oxidation, ATP is produced, that's why it is oxidative phosphorylation. Fine. Now, this ETC, this electron transport system, this is embedded in the mitochondrial membrane, inner mitochondrial membrane. So, we'll see what kind of components are the part of it. This membrane is containing 4 complexes of the proteins. The first one starting from this, because they all are arranged in their increasing order of redox potential. It means their capacity to get reduced and oxidized. So the FMN and FES together going to form the complex 1. FAD, FES, that is iron sulfur protein, going to make complex 2, which is involved when we are going to take the energy from FADH2. Fine. Then we have in between a mobile electron carrier, that is ubiquinol. This one. Mobile means it can move. Rest they are fixed in the membrane. The third complex is cytochrome B. Cytochrome के 5 complexes हैं हमारे पास. Cytochrome B. That is associated with iron sulfur protein and cytochrome C1. Collectively they are going to make complex 3. Then the electron will come to cytochrome C, cytochrome C2, cytochrome A, and at the last cytochrome A3. This is cytochrome oxidase A3, which is very important, which is going to transfer the electron which it has taken from the previous transporters. तो सबसे लास्ट में A3 के पास आ रहे हैं and A3 finally going to give the electron to oxygen molecule. This as per the definition. Clear? Now we are going to discuss about the structure of this inner mitochondrial membrane along with their presence in that. As we have discussed the complexes present in the inner mitochondrial membrane, now we are going to see how these protons will help in producing or generating ATP. So let's see the structure and the process, then we are moving to the steps of electron transport system. So this particular electron transport system is going to occur in the membrane of mitochondria. So this is inner mitochondrial membrane. Just recall the presence of these electron transporters in the inner mitochondrial membrane. The very first is FMN. Okay, this is associated with iron sulfur protein structure. So when this NADH plus H positive is going to get oxidized to produce this NAD plus. As you can see in the reaction written over here, this NADH plus H positive when get oxidized, then NAD plus are regenerated, 2 protons are produced and 2 electrons. Now these protons and these electrons are taken by this system in a sequence. So very first the proton, this is going to get oxidized. इसका होना है यहाँ पे oxidation. So the protons are taken by FMN and FMN get converted into FMNH2 or it is going to get reduced. This will again converted into FMN by releasing 2 protons in the perimitochondrial membranous space. जो 2 membrane के बीच का space है, there it is released. Fine. And the electron which are coming to this will be now transferred to ferric iron and this will going to form ferrous iron. Again this will continue and then electron will be transported to the next one. Now these protons are to be transported via proton pump which are embedded in the mitochondrial membrane. These are the proton pump. This is what? This is oxysome which are present in inner mitochondrial membrane. So this oxysome is containing 2 parts, F0 particle, F1, F0, F1 particle it is. So these protons, as on this particular part, the concentration gradient of proton is generated. It means over here higher concentration. So they'll start moving from their higher concentration to lower concentration as per the chemiosmosis. Fine. So when they will move at this particular F1 particle, the enzyme ATP synthetase is present. This is going to convert ADP, inorganic phosphate, into ATP. Okay. So in this way, by these protons, when these protons are moving from the higher concentration to lower concentration gradient, they release energy. And that energy is used to make the ATP. So they come this side, they have more energy, so this will be going to bind to the next one. Okay, next transporter, that is ubiquinol, that get reduced. So this process is going to take place thrice to produce 3 ATP molecule from this NADH plus H positive. Fine. So when we are going to talk about FADH2, that FADH2 is associated with complex 2. So there the electron acceptor is not FMN, that is FAD in that case. So this will be skipped. The first step will be skipped. That's why there two ATPs are produced. Okay. Reason being that the redox potential of this FADH2 and FAD is going to match. So that is going to enter into electron transport through that particular part, not from the FMN. So the first step will be going to missed when it is associated with FADH2. Fine, now we are going to continue with the series of the steps in electron transport. So now we are going to take a look on the complete electron transport chain, from which component to which the electrons are transported and how many times the ATP is generated. Okay, so we'll see that. The structure we have already discussed. So from this side, when this NADH plus H positive is going to get oxidized to form this NAD plus coenzyme, then the protons will be accepted by FMN. Okay, this is going to take protons to get reduced into FMNH2. So FMNH2 again going to convert into FMN, and while converting, the protons are released into the peri-mitochondrial membrane space. Okay, membranous space में protons को release करते हैं. An electron will be transported from this FMN to the iron sulfur protein complex, जो भी structure है हमारी, that is given to this, and after taking electron, this ferric state of this complex is converted into the ferrous one. Clear? Now when these protons are brought over here on this side, then the proton gradient is created towards this side. Over here the protons are high, in the higher concentration. So as per the chemiosmosis which we have discussed under the photophosphorylation, the proton starts moving from the higher concentration to lower concentration through these channels, and these channels, transmembrane channels, will allow these protons to cross the membrane. Otherwise, this mitochondrial membrane is impermeable to ions. So, while discussing the structure of mitochondria, we have read about oxysomes. So, these all the structures which are embedded, they are oxysomes. Oxysomes is having two parts. This F0, the circular one, F1 particle, and F1 particle we know this is associated with the ATP synthetase enzyme, which is going to help in synthesizing ATP currency. Fine. So in this way, these protons will move from this side to the matrix side, and while moving, the energy which is released is used to make the ATP. So here this first ATP is generated from this one NADH plus H positive molecule, and the protons which are brought this side, they still have more energy. So now they are going to get reduced to this another mobile electron carrier, ubiquinone. Ubiquinone reduced to form QH2, and there it is going to get oxidized to form UQ. While getting oxidized, it releases the protons into the membranous space. Again the process is the same, higher concentration to lower concentration movement will take place. That results into release of energy. That energy is used to make ATP. So this is the second ATP which is formed. The electrons from this UQ will move to the cytochrome B, which is associated with this iron sulfur structure. So cytochrome B afterwards, as it is a mobile carrier, again it is present. So these protons which are present in the matrix over here, they again get reduced to UQ to form UQH2, and while getting oxidized, it releases the protons into the space. Again, from higher concentration to lower concentration, the movement will take place. Release in energy will occur. That energy is used to make third molecule of ATP. Now these protons, they lost their complete energy. They don't have energy. Fine. No more ATP will be synthesized now. So 3 ATPs are synthesized. Electrons are still moving from this ubiquinon to cytochrome C1, then to cytochrome C, cytochrome A, and at the end A3. The sequence of these cytochromes which are present will remain cytochrome B, B to C1, C1 to C, A and A3. A3 is the cytochrome oxidase, which is finally going to give the electron to the oxygen. Fine. This oxygen, by taking these electrons and the hydrogen which is present in the matrix, going to make water. Okay, this is going to make water. This is also going to add in oxygen. All these three things will make a water molecule. This is the end reaction of this particular chain process. It means at the end we are making a water molecule. And we know that thing, in a respiration reaction we are producing CO2, water, ATP. So ATPs are generated, water is formed, and CO2 we have released during the Krebs cycle. So this is the complete electron transport chain. Thank you.